Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is a reading for, let me move this out a little bit. I'm trying to make these readings a little bit shorter so that you guys don't have to endure through all that time. But there is so much to say. There is just so much to say that, I'm having trouble trying to fit it all within like 5 or 7 minutes. I'm trying to not go past 5 or 7 minutes. But anyways, this reading is for Tuesday, May 28th, 2019. I am doing a daily reading for the elements, and this is for the fire signs. Fire signs, the overall energy today is the wishing well. And I just want to bring this card up a little closer so you can get a better look at it. It's the wishing well. The wishing well. And the book says, desire is a sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownerships. Okay. It also talks about the relationship between desire and inspiration. So this might be, I'm getting the sense, you know how you go to a wishing well and you kind of just throw the coins in, you make a wish and you walk away, and you know you have it in your heart, you're throwing your coins in there. Why would you throw a coin in there if you didn't believe it was going to happen? You'd save it and keep it for something different. You save it and keep it for something else, right? But you're throwing in there and making a wish. And this is kind of the concept here. Make your wish. You've come to the well and you're making your wish. But the interesting thing about this is that they're not throwing coins. They're throwing masks. Do you see the mask up in the sky? And the mask to laying right on those rocks over there. Do you see that mask over there? So I get a sense that you have the desire, you might desire to put the expectations, the mask that we wear, sometimes the expectations, who people expect us to be, who people want us to be, right? You want to throw that into the well. That is your sacrifice, you know. And, you know, we got a small mask and we have a bigger mask with lots of designs on it. But you want to sacrifice, when you're throwing coins into that well, you're sacrificing that money, right? So you want to sacrifice the expectations of people, or who people wanted you to be, or how people expected you to be. And you want to walk away with the dream and the hope of becoming your true self. And that's what I'm getting here. I want to be my true self, but I have a mask on. Okay. That's what I'm really picking up for the fire signs today. Now, the positive energy is the Page of Wands right over here. And the Page of Wands in this book, in this deck, is titled Cautious Progress, right? Taking your time to figure out the roads or the path that you want to take. You know, you made that wish, you made that sacrifice, and now you're like, okay, how am I going to move forward? You know, which way should I go now? How do I become my true self? Probably been wearing that mask for way too long. And now you've tossed it and you're like, okay, now I got to figure out who I really am. What are my true passions? And that's the positive card for today, embodying that, figuring out, taking your time. Okay, you see he has the magician's wand in his hands, and he might be trying to figure out how to use it. How do I use this wand? How do I follow my passions? How do I use my passions? How do I use my gifts? Not that I've tapped into, you know, those things. How do I use it? He's really looking at it intently, and that is a positive energy today, just to be there contemplating, figuring out, how do I use it? How do I want this passion? How do I want this passion to manifest itself? And that is the energy that is good for you today. Now, the energy that is bad is the King of Wands. Okay? The King of Wands. And I find it very funny that we have the Page of Wands and then we have the King of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is, here's the thing. Don't just jump into it acting like, you know, you got it all together. The baby steps are good. Start with the Page. Just trying to figure out, how do I want to manifest my passions? Baby steps are good. You haven't arrived yet. Just because you tossed that mask doesn't necessarily mean you've arrived. You've probably been wearing that mask for so long. You don't know how to be your true self. So taking the time to figure out who you truly are instead of just jumping into something, okay? That's like putting on another mask. You might be used to wearing masks, so now you want to jump on and put on another mask and become the King of Wands. But no, you got to figure out how to become the King of Wands. So don't take on the King of Wands energy so quickly. As you can see, you know, a lot of times we want to just be there. We just want to have it. We magically just want to be the king, you know, but the king was once a page, and there's joy in every step. You know, an adult was once a baby. And even though when we have children, they want to be adults, we find pleasure in them being young. We find pleasure in the young. We tell them to take their time and be young. Don't grow up too fast. You know, take the steps. I remember hearing a story once of a child who was unable to speak because And I guess when doctors were talking, the child wasn't allowed to crawl. He just got up and started walking. And the doctors was like, there's something about crawling, allowing the child to crawl that helps them speak. And, you know, I'm thinking when the parents saw the child just get up and start walking without really crawling, they're like, yeah, my child is fast. They just jump up and do things, you know, but they were missing a step. And later on, it actually harmed the child. So taking the steps that you need to take, okay? Another thing I want to say is that in the Page of Wands, you can see how passionate he is about this. He's very interested in just the wand itself, trying to figure out the wand itself. And the King of Wands over here, he has a wand, but he ain't looking at the wand. He knows what the wand does. He knows all about the wand. He's looking at something else. He's focused on something else. So there's a focus in every step. And don't forget, before you jump into the king and want to just play chess, one thing I love, play chess. One thing I love about these cards is the King of Kings are sitting on a floor that looks like a chessboard. Instead of jumping and playing chess, learn the game. Okay? Instead of just jumping into it, take your time to really learn the game. Learn the tools that you have. Learn what you have in your hand. Get the experience. And that's what I'm really getting. Don't put on another mask over here. It might be the fact that you just want to jump and put on this mask. Sacrifice that mask and be your true self, who you are. And you may be a page. There's joy in every stage of life. And take your time to go through every stage of your life. You will become that king one day. Okay? All right. So the advice, we're going to start out with our Saggies. This is very funny to me, just looking at it off the bat. The advice ascends from 2, 3, 4. So you're going to grow into what it is that you, 2, 3, and then 4. And the 4 becomes a fire. And this is a fire reading. And and I can see you from a page to a king. This is just beautiful. You're going to grow, do the growth, 2, 3s, and 4s. So I see that off the bat in the advice. This is the overall advice for everybody. And I can see as they grow, the family also grows. The joy grows. Okay? The joy grows. You go from just attraction, finding somebody that you like, to being really, you know, you're just happy over here. You're full of joy. And over here is just a full-on celebration. Okay? Full-on celebration. So I see the advice also growing. Now for our Sagittariuses, we do have the 2 of Vessels, the 2 of Cups. And by being who you are, you're going to find somebody who matches you, who's harmonious to you. You're going to find another page who can help you. But if you're acting like a king, you're going to get kings. They're going to want to play chess, and you're going to miss the whole wand experience, figuring out the wand experience. So by being able to be who you are, taking off that mask, showing where you're actually at, what stage you're actually at, you actually find somebody who can be harmonious with you and walk your path with you. You're going to find somebody who matches, okay, just by being who you are. Stop pretending. Aries, we got the 3 of Cups. And with the 3 of Cups, I see birds of a feather flock together, okay? Birds of a feather flock together, but at the same time, I also see 3 different cups. These cups are different. These cups are very different, but birds of a feather flock together. You may not want to be like these people. You know, you might want to be individual. You want to be your individual self. You know, you might see a lot of pages and you don't want to be a page, but you can be an individual page. You can be an individual page. You might feel like you're going to lose yourself, but you're not going to lose yourself. You're going to find people who are similar in the same vibe, on the same vibrational level. And this is harmonious. It helps with growth. Do you see the joy over here? And with Leos, you get your stability. When Leos take off their mask, you get your stability. You find more stability and stable. And you'll find that people actually celebrate who you are because you might be a missing element. The Page of Wands is a missing element. You got to understand, when a child is in the house, they teach the adults too. There's a lot of joy. The children remind the adults of what they were missing. Every link, the page has its place. Every part has its place. And you're going to see that you're celebrated by taking off your mask. You take off your mask and people celebrate it. And people are happy with it. And that is the reading for the fire signs today. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to also share. Have a wonderful day, you guys.